Welcome back to Vinyl Decal School. Thanks for joining me. Any likes, follows and subscribes are always appreciated, so thank you in advance for those. So I think this video will probably be quite a quick one because I've already done a full Cricut versus Silhouette comparison video. If you want to check that out, you can find that here. And in it, I did a lot more about kind of the noise difference, the difference between software and usability and all that kind of thing. But as it has been requested, I thought in this video I would just do an update because Cricut have obviously just very recently brought out their Cricut Explore 3 and their Cricut Maker 3. So I'll go over what's new about them and if it makes it any better to get one of those over the Cameo 4 or not. So this might be a spoiler alert, I'm not sure, but I don't actually have one of the new Cricuts. I'm not really planning on getting one anytime soon, but if I did have them here to show you, this is what the new Cricut Maker 3 looks like, and this is what the new Cricut Explore 3 looks like. So not super different in terms of shape, but the one big difference is that the dial has gone and the power buttons kind of moved down a bit, and they've updated the way the other buttons look, so they're a bit kind of more modern looking, I guess. The little cubby on the left hand side is also slightly different. And then there's a new little kind of plastic bit on the bit that folds down, which is for their smart materials, which I'll get onto later in the video. So the first selling point for the new machines is that they're quicker than their predecessors, which is definitely a plus if you sell things or make lots of things all at once. So both upgraded machines are 2 times faster than the Cricut Air 2 when on fast mode, and apparently even faster than that when you cut smart materials. So I'm not sure if this is the speed for smart materials or not, but I read somewhere that it's about 8 inches per second is what it cuts now. Whereas in comparison to the Cameo 4, I did read somewhere that the max speed is about 11.7 inches per second. So that one is still quicker, but I never have it set that fast. So I would actually imagine that they both average out to be quite a similar cutting speed. So I'm not sure I would use that as a reason to get one over the other. So other than the speed, the biggest feature of these new machines is their ability to cut long rolls up to 75 feet, but with a caveat. You have to use their smart materials in order to be able to cut without a mat. So the smart materials are 13 inches wide rather than the usual standard 12 inches wide of like a normal vinyl roll, but they also have this thick backing on them, which means they can go through the machine without needing a mat. So it is a very clever ploy on Cricut's behalf to tie you to using their materials if you want to use this feature on the new Cricut machines. I haven't actually used smart materials yet, so I can't give you my opinion on the quality of them, but I don't really love Cricut's standard vinyl or iron-on vinyl. I just didn't think it was very good quality when I used to use it, so I'm not sure I'm going to be shelling out for smart material vinyl either. But maybe I will down the line just to see what it's like. It's just very expensive. So for 3.7 meters or 12 feet, for a roll of that from the Cricut store, it is $24.99 here in the UK or $24.99 in the US Cricut store. Whereas you can get a standard roll of 5 meters permanent vinyl, which I think is about 15 feet, for £9.94 from GM Crafts in the UK. And that's actually way more than I pay for my rolls of vinyl because I buy in bulk. Or you can get a 15-foot roll from Expressions Vinyl in the US at about $8.87 on sale at the moment. So much cheaper than the Cricut stuff. To be fair, the Cricut one does say it is dishwasher safe, which is better than your standard permanent vinyl and could come in useful if you do a lot of like mugs and glasses. But I'm betting you could find another brand that is dishwasher safe or a way to seal them that would work out a lot cheaper than continuing to buy 12 feet rolls for £25 or dollars. If you do want some good alternative vinyl supplies, by the way, I do have a full list on my website for the UK, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and then a few in Germany and Switzerland. So do check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. And maybe down the line, other companies will find a way to kind of hack the smart materials thing and get around it, or you might be able to find a hack yourself. But until then, I think you are probably stuck with smart materials if you do want to use the matless cutting option. Of course, you don't have to use without a mat, but the whole selling point of these new machines is that you can do that matless cutting for longer rolls. The only thing is though, it doesn't come with an inbuilt roll feeder like the Cameo 4 does. You do have to buy that as a separate thing, and it's about $50 more. You don't actually need the roll feeder necessarily, but it does make life easier. It just holds your roll kind of while it unfolds itself through the machine. And I think I would really struggle if I didn't have the roll feeder on my Cameo 4, because the rolls would just keep kind of falling off the table, I think. So in my opinion, because you're tied to the Cricut materials and the fact you have to shell out extra for a roll feeder, that does still make the Cameo 4 better for long vinyl or iron-on vinyl projects. If you do a mix of projects though, they do also now have smart paper, which is like sticky backed cardstock, which would come in handy for making like card projects or scrapbooking, so that is quite fun. And you can also print and cut on coloured paper on the Maker and the Maker 3, which actually I don't think I mentioned in my previous comparison video. The amount of tools you can use is still the same at the moment, I think, so it's about 13 different tools you can use with the Maker and the Maker 3, and 6 with the Air 2 and Explore 3, in comparison to the 4 different tools you can use with the Cameo 4. So they do still have the upper hand on the amount of different techniques you can use with the Cricut machines. The cutting force is also still the same, so the Cameo 4 has a slight upper hand with 5 kilogram cutting force compared to 4 kilograms, which the Maker 3 and the original Maker does. And then of course the cost. So just a reminder that the Cameo 4, the standard version, is 12 inches, which is what I've got, 12 inches wide. Then there's the Plus, which is 15 inches wide, and the Pro, which is 24 inches wide. So they are all priced differently. So the Cameo 4, from what I can see when it's not in deal in the US, is around $300, which is the same as the Cricut Explore 3. In the UK though, the Explore is a bit cheaper, it's about £280, whereas a Cameo 4 is about $320. Obviously these prices can change and there's always deals on, so do look out for that when you're buying. Just be careful to always buy from a reputable source. Then the Maker 3, that is more expensive at $400 and £400 in the UK, which is the same price as the Cameo Plus. So they are kind of equal on prices, but do just remember if you're getting the Maker and even the Explore 3, you may need to shell out extra for the roll feeder and any extra tools you might want. So basically it always just comes down to what you want to do with your machine. I personally don't think one is way better than the other. It's really about what you're using it for. So if you want the option to be able to cut long projects, but you also want to be able to use your machine for a lot of different techniques like engraving, debossing, file transfer, that kind of thing, then maybe the Maker 3 is better for you. But if you're mostly going to be doing kind of long vinyl and iron-on vinyl stuff and you want to sell it and you need to make sure your materials are as cheap as possible, then the Cameo 4 might be a better choice. Just weigh up the different options, do like a pros and cons list, and then decide from there. I will write a blog post for this video and I will try and do an easy to read table of just a few of the different comparisons for the different things, and I'll pop that in there. Once that's done, I will pop it in the comments so you can read. And let me know in the comments too if you're considering buying one of the new Cricut machines or if you're just going to stick with the ones you already have. And thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and follow for more videos like this in future.